United USA 2020 and beyond. Got some info here. That infrastructure bill that they were trying to pass, well, guess what? They tried to be sneaky and pass cryptocurrency regulation into the infrastructure bill, but it got blocked.
Reporting requirements on crypto exchange brokers.
Let's pause that for a sec. So I meant to report on this a few days ago in the week. I've had a lot going on, so this week I haven't been posting as many videos as I normally do, as I'm sure many of you have taken notice of. I wanted to talk about this because earlier in the year I was talking about, as some of you will remember and recall, I was speaking about Janet Yellen, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, who also used to work for the Federal Reserve and also another head of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde. Both Christine Lagarde from the ECB and Janet Yellen, Biden's nomination for U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, wanted to regulate Bitcoin or regulate cryptocurrency, period, right? Some of the allegations or assumptions that was being put out there was that crypto is mainly used for illegal purposes or terrorist agendas, blah, 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 blah. But the fact is that, you know, it's not controlled by a central bank, a central entity. And so that's really what it comes down to, is they want control. So in the Senate, there was a cryptocurrency amendment that was blocked just a few days back. And so it says here in the article, let me just read you guys a little bit. I'll also post a link so you can read the rest of the article, but I'll just read a page or two here. Give me a couple minutes. It says a bipartisan amendment to redefine who would be subject to the new cryptocurrency regulation requirements under the Senate infrastructure bill was blocked Monday after Senator Richard Shelby, Republican from Alabama, tried to attach his untreated proposal to boost military spending by $50 billion. Senator Pat Toomey, here's Republicans and Democrats, as you can see in this paragraph right here, that were all for it. But if you notice at the bottom it says, also supported by the Treasury Department. And like I said, who's in charge of the Treasury Department? Janet Yellen, right? And like I said, this was going back like 6 months ago. I remember it was around the beginning of the year, 6, 7, 8 months ago, where she was talking about, we need to regulate crypto. I made videos about it. Some of you guys can go back and check those out back from January and February. Okay, so it says, but after Shelby had added this amendment to boost military spending bill, it was blocked by Senator Bernie Sanders. So what it says here, it says, Toomey expressed disgust that the amendment was struck. Ooh. It says, because there's a big difference of opinion on whether or not the senator from Alabama should get a vote on his amendment, because that is not agreed to. The body is refusing to take up an amendment that has a broad bipartisan support that we all know fixes something that badly needs to be fixed. So what they're talking about is they want to regulate cryptocurrency, right? They want a piece of that. They want to regulate it. I'm sure that there's motivations and an agenda to regulate it beyond what they're telling us. And ultimately what it is they're not getting their piece of the pie, and they want a piece of it. There's different reasons that government want to block it. So, I mean, on different sides of the aisle, there's Democrats and Republicans that both agree, and then there's some that have differences of opinion. But like I said, the financial institutions and world banks and heads of state in different countries, as I used the example, prime example of Christine Lagarde, the head of the ECB, European Central Bank, and like I said, Janet Yellen, that used to be with the Federal Reserve, which is now the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States. So you can see that this is a very controversial issue, but I thought it was interesting that they tried to lump it in with the infrastructure bill, like we've talked about before with the CARES Act, of the COVID relief spending bill. like so many other bills, what they'll do is they'll, you know, pack so many different laws that they want to pass, or regulations, different legislation that they want to pass, and what they'll do is, instead of doing it one at a time, they'll group and lump a whole bunch of different initiatives into one bill. So it's kind of like yes or no to everything, right? Rather than individually vote on them, and then, you know, if it doesn't, you know, go the way that they want, then what they'll do is then Congress will, you know, the government will shut down for a time because they can't come to an agreement. So they say, oh, this is easier. Let's just go ahead and let's just, you know, vote on all of this. Yes or no to all of it. I mean, it's completely dysfunctional and irresponsible. And what it does is it creates a aspect of sneakiness where a lot of things are, you know, coming in kind of under the wire, that are being kind of slipped in, all these other things that they're doing. For example, like the infrastructure bill, of things that are going for streets and, you know, roads, bridges, the power grid, water supply, production, you know, to sewer, you know, filtration and this and that and whatever. There's all these different aspects. Sorry, these cicadas are acting up again. So long story short, what we have is a situation where they tried to be sneaky and the Senate blocked it. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised. But this is not the end of this. Trust me, they're going to regulate crypto. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I think anyone who's paying attention and is realistic, I think already knows that. And the fact is that here we are in a situation where they're passing so many different things. This infrastructure bill is a disaster. I think it's only like, I'm trying to remember, what is it, like 50, 60, 70, 80 billion, I think, that's going towards the power grid, which is ridiculous. I mean, out of $1 trillion, the majority of that money should be going to back up the power grid in case we get hit with an EMP, or in case the power grid is hacked, or in case there's some sort of disaster. The power grid needs to be protected. That should be priority number one in this infrastructure bill, and it's not. I did some other videos that shows kind of a breakdown of what and they're spending it on and how they're spending it. So anyway, we'll have to talk more about this as things develop, and we'll see what's going on with regulation in crypto, but it is a matter of time. I'm sure most of you would agree. Very controversial subject, just like many controversial aspects of things that are going on in politics and government fighting back and forth, playing cat and mouse. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit me up. Please be sure to like and share this video. If you haven't hit that bell notification, please hit that to be notified of upcoming videos. Thanks very much. Y'all have a good day.